Nandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Śrīmad Paramahamsa Ashtottara Sada Sri Śrīmad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Śrīmad Paramahamsa Acharya Ashtottara Sada Sri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबली डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबली डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबली डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज श्री गुरु गौरंग, ऑल ग्लोरीज श्री श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 7, entitled Lord Shiva Saves the Universe, verse 12 onwards. Uparyagendram girirādivānya ākramya hastena sahasrabahu तस्तोदि विभ्रम भवेन्द्र मुख्यै अभिष्टुवद्भिः सुमनोभिवृष्टा उपर्यगेन्द्रं गिरिराडिवान्या आक्रम्य हस्तेन सहस्रबाहु तस्तौ दिवि ब्रह्म भवेन्द्र मुख्यैर् अभिष्टुवद्भिः सुमनोभिवृष्टा उपर्यगेन्द्रं गिरिराडिवान्या आक्रम्य हस्तेन सहस्रबाहु तस्तो दिवि ब्रह्म भवेन्द्र मुख्यैर् अभिष्टुविद्भिः सुमनोभिवृष्टा उपर्यगेन्द्रं गिरिराडिवान्या आक्रम्य हस्तेन सहस्रबाहु तस्तो दिवि ब्रह्म भवेन्द्र मुख्यैर् अभिष्टुवद्भिः सुमनोभिवृष्टा पर्यगेन्द्रं गिरिराडिवान्या Madhis. Abhishtuvadbhi sumano bhivrishta. Okay, we're to a translation. Upari, on the top of Agendram, the big mountain. Girirat, the king of mountains. Iva, like. Anyaha, another. Akramya, catching. Hastena, by one hand. Sahasrabahu, exhibiting thousands of hands. Tastau, situated. Divi, in the sky. Brahma, Lord Brahma. Bhava, Lord Shiva. Indra, the king of heaven. Mukhyehi, headed by. Abhishtuvadbhi, offered praise to the Lord. Sumanaha, by flowers. Abhivrishtaha, being showered. Manifesting himself with thousands of hands, the Lord then appeared on the summit of Mandara mountain, like another great mountain, and held Mandara mountain with one hand. In the upper planetary systems, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, along with Indra, king of heaven, and other demigods, offered prayers to the Lord and showered flowers upon him. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. It's a very short purport, so we'll continue reading afterwards as well. To balance Mandara mountain while it was being pulled from both sides, the Lord himself appeared on its summit like another great mountain. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and King Indra then expanded themselves and showered flowers on the Lord. Verse 13. Uparyathacchatmani gotra netrayo parena te pravishita samedhita mamandhurabdhim tarasa madotkata mahadrina kshobhidana krachakram. The demigods and demons worked almost madly for the nectar, encouraged by the Lord, who was above and below the mountain and who had entered the demigods, the demons, Vasuki, and the mountain itself. Because of the strength of the demigods and the demons, the ocean of milk was so powerfully agitated that all the alligators in the water were very much perturbed. Nonetheless, the churning of the ocean continued in this way. Verse 14. Ahindra sahasra kathora ummukha shwasagri dhuma hadavarcha sosura pauloma kaleya balillaladayo davagni dagdha sarala iva bhavan. Vasuki had thousands of eyes and mouths. From his mouth he breathed smoke and blazing fire, which affected the demons headed by Pauloma, Kaleya, Bali, and Ilvala. Thus the demons, who appeared like sarala trees burned by a forest fire, gradually became powerless. Devam Shatachwasa Shikahata Prabhan Dhumram Barasrakvarakan Chukananan Samabhyavarshan Bhagavadvashagnan Vavu Samudrormi Ubaguthavayau. Vayava Upagutha Vayava. Because the demigods were so affected by the blazing breath of Vasuki, their bodily lustres diminished, and their garments, garlands, weapons, and faces were blackened by smoke. However, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, clouds appeared on the sea, pouring torrents of rain, and breezes blew, carrying particles of water from the sea waves to give the demigods relief. Verse 16. Madhyamana tatha sintho devasura varudhapai yada sutha na jayeta nirmamantha jitaswayam. When nectar did not come from the ocean of milk, despite so much of endeavor by the best of the demigods and demons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ajita, personally began to churn the ocean. Verse 17. Meghashyama kara kanaka parisi karna vidyoda vidyun murdhani bhrajad vilulita kacha srakdharo raktar renetra jaitrer dorpir jagataphedair dandashukam grihitva manthan madhna parigiririva shobhatadho dhrutadrihi. The Lord appeared like a blackish cloud. He was dressed with yellow garments. His earrings shone on his ears like lightning, and his hair spread over his shoulders. He wore a garland of flowers, and his eyes were pinkish. With his strong, glorious arms, which award fearlessness throughout the universe, he took hold of Vasuki and began churning the ocean using Mandara mountain as a churning rod. When engaged in this way, the Lord appeared like a beautifully situated mountain named Indranila. Nirmanthamana dudatheru bhudvisham maholbanam halahala hvalamagrata sambhrantamino magara higacchapat tamidvapagrahati mangalakulat. The fish, shark, tortoise, and snakes were most agitated and perturbed. The entire ocean became turbulent, and even the large aquatic animals like whales, water elephants, crocodiles, and timingala fish, large whales that can swallow small whales, came to the surface. While the ocean was being churned in this way, it first produced a fiercely dangerous poison called halahala. Verse 19. Tadugra vegam dishidishu varyadho visarpadus sarpada dasahyam aprati bhita prajadudruvuranga sweshwara arakshamana sharanam sadashivam. O king, when the uncontrollable poison was forcefully spreading up and down in all directions, all the demigods along with the Lord himself approached Lord Shiva, Sadashiva, feeling unsheltered and very much afraid. They sought shelter of him. Purport. One may question that since the Supreme Personality of Godhead was personally present, why did he accompany all demigods and people in general to take shelter of Lord Sadashiva instead of intervening himself? In this connection, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam warns, Rudrasya yashatorthaya swayam vishnur visham vibhuhu na sanjigrahe samarthopi vayum choche prashantaye. Lord Vishnu was competent to rectify the situation, but in order to give credit to Lord Shiva, who later drank all the poison and kept it in his neck, Lord Vishnu did not take action. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanutamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutair Mahatbhir Yayima Vibhuro Vibhu Nirmaya Shede Yadamusha Purusha Bhungte Gunan Shodasha Shodashatmaka Solangrishishta Bhagavan Vacham Sime. Hare Krishna. It's a beautiful section of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam where we can see the mercy of the Lord very clearly. We can see the intervention of the Lord when the devotees are going through trouble. So here we will just touch on first point which is mentioned in this purport, why the Supreme Lord didn't intervene when devotees were in trouble, and he could have easily rectified the problem himself. The only reason given is he wanted to give credit to Lord Shiva. He could have easily rectified the problem. We know he gave the idea to churn the milk ocean. He appointed Garuda to bring Mandara mountain. He himself lifted the mountain. He himself sat on top of the mountain and balanced. He himself entered all the demigods, demons and Vasuki. He did everything. He himself churned. He himself gave strength. He himself encouraged. He himself brought rain and soothing breezes. Yes. Now, having done everything, is it impossible for the Lord Ajita to rectify this poison halahala? Not at all. It's so easy. But this is the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He wants to give credit to his pure devotees. He wants to give his credit to all the devotees, especially pure devotees. See the entire battle of Kurukshetra. Who actually killed everyone? Krishna killed everyone. It's so simple. Mamaivate nihita purvameva. Mam eva ete nihita purvameva. Before itself, I have killed everyone. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Oh savyasachin. Oh Savyasachi. The word used is also very interesting. Savyasachi. He is best of the archers. He can wield his weapon so brilliantly, so fiercely. He is best among the archers, but still, he is Savyasachi. Still, what did he say? Okay, nimitta matram bhava Savyasachi. You just become a nimitta, you become an instrument and take all the credit. Now also, for the battle of Kurukshetra, who gets the credit? Arjuna gets the credit, isn't it? Who gave that credit? The Lord himself gave that credit. It is not just Arjuna, not just the battle of Kurukshetra. But if you see the life of Pandavas, in all troubles, Krishna himself protected. As Kunti Devi prays, isn't it? Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshanat Asat Sabhayam Vanavasa Krichata Mrithe Mrithe Nega Maharathastrata Draunyastradaschascha Hare Bhirakshita. Everything. All different trouble. Vishan Mahagne. Visha. When Bhimasena was administered poison and he was put it into the lake, he went underneath. All episode was ultimately orchestrated by the Supreme Lord. He gave the mercy so that he become completely disinfected. And he got strength of 10,000 elephants. Duryodhana wanted to kill him, but now he became more powerful. As powerful as 10,000 elephants. It's a big thing, isn't it? 10,000. One elephant power, we know. You can see video. Elephant comes just with this trunk, just pluck the whole tree, uproot. Just throw it. This is elephant. Just car, we are proud of our car. Car, one kick, car is flying. This is the strength of elephant of Kali Yuga, who are not even nurtured. So what to speak about elephant in Dwapara Yuga? And how many of them? 10,000. That is the strength of Bhimasena. Vishan Mahagne, when there was Mahagni, Krishna gave the intelligence, so they got escape from the house of lack. Purushada Darshanat. Bhimasena was able to kill him, the demon, because of the mercy of the Lord. Asasabhayam, even in the assembly of the Pandavas, who helped Draupadi? Krishna himself, as Sari incarnation, never heard of before. So this is Krishna's mercy. So the Lord is helping, and Vanavasa Krichrata. Even the Krichrata means great difficulties. Kricha means difficulty, great difficulties in Vanavas, in their life in the forest. There also Krishna helped. You know the episode, Akshaya Patra story. Durvasa and Akshaya Patra, who helped? Krishna personally helped. So, and finally it's mentioned, Mridhe Mridheneka Maharathastrata. Now in this battlefield, there are so many arrows are being shot by Maharathis. Who is protecting? Krishna is protecting. We know the pastime when at the end of the battle, Krishna asked Arjuna, you get off the chariot first. Arjuna said, no, oh my Lord, you get off the chariot first. Krishna said, no, you do it first. He got off, and then Krishna got off the chariot and it blew into fire and became just ashes. Why? Krishna was protecting. When Narayanastra was shot, Krishna just stood up, became a garlanded Krishna. So this is the power of Krishna. So ultimately we have to see, Krishna is doing everything, but he wants to give credit to his devotees. Now finally it is mentioned, Draunyastradaschasma Hare Bhirakshada. Drauni, even Ashwadhama, shot the arrow, right? To kill the last hair in the womb of Uttara. So who helped? Krishna personally. He entered the womb. Gadabhrata, it is mentioned Gadabhrata. As the one who is the wielder of Gata, he entered the womb and protected, and he gave darshan to Parikshit in the womb. So can you see, all these pastimes are ultimately carried out by the Lord, but he gives credit to his devotees. Killing of Jarasandha. Who killed Jarasandha? Bhima. Who gave the intelligence? Krishna. He showed. He didn't speak anything. Did he speak anything? No. Showed action. Just tear the leaves and just showed the action. That's it. And big demon was killed. The son of Jara. There is no other means to kill him. See? So Krishna is doing everything. And this is one level of killing the demons and going through the difficulties. But if you see, even in the beginning of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, who appeared? Shukadeva Goswami appeared to speak Śrīmad Bhāgavatam to Maharaj Parikshit. How he appeared? It is by the providence. What does that mean? It is by the divine arrangement that Shukadeva Goswami appeared there. Even the birth of Shukadeva Goswami is also very special. That is also orchestrated by Krishna himself. He didn't want to come out from the womb of his mother. Who orchestrated? Krishna assured, come out. And then, who gets the credit? Shukadeva Goswami gets the credit for speaking Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and Maharaj Parikshit gets the credit for hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Of course, they are great devotees, they have their credit, but ultimately it is given by the Lord himself. So it is mentioned that Krishna himself sends the spiritual master. By the mercy of Krishna, one gets a spiritual master, and then by the mercy of the spiritual master, one gets Krishna. So it's a team work between Krishna and the spiritual master. In Bhagavatamritam, Gopakumar, he went back home, back to Godhead, and his progressive journey is very interesting and very powerful, very instructive. It's a very, very powerful exposition by Sanatana Goswami. But if you see there, who came as a spiritual master? As the Brahmana? Krishna himself. Krishna himself came as Brahmana to rescue Gopakumar. And he gave the secret mantra, and Gopakumar got mantra siddhi. And he was going progressively from planet to planet. How it happened? The Lord himself gave the mantra. So can you see? The episode of Brahmana and Gopakumar, it's not very much in Bhagavatamritam. Few verses here and there, that's it. But entire narration is the glorious journey of Gopakumar. So he can see the Lord is orchestrating. So this is applicable even while receiving Diksha from the spiritual master. It's the mercy of the Lord. It's mercy of the Guru, it's mercy of the Lord as well. His intervention is there in the life of all the devotees. See? So that's where we can see that the Lord can even test his pure devotees to glorify them. The Lord wants to glorify his devotees, so he can test his devotees, and the Lord empowers his devotees to pass the test. And the devotees become glorious. Again, in the beginning of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, there is this difficult test was there for Arjuna. Arjuna was put in such a difficult test. Krishna ordered Arjuna, after contracting Brahmastra by Arjuna, and he captured whom? Arjuna captured whom? Ashwatthama. After that, what did Krishna order Arjuna? He doesn't deserve any mercy. Kill him. Krishna told, kill him. Was it easy? No, he was ready. He was thinking, this was a test. What did Bhima say? Kill him immediately. What did Draupadi say? Don't kill him. Because multiple reasons she presented. One, after all, he is the son of your teacher. You were shining in the battle of Kurukshetra by your skills in archery. But who taught you? Vrndesa and his son, Drauni, Ashwatthama. How can you kill him? Even though he's fallen. You know, mother's pain, all children were killed. Can you imagine the pain of mother Draupadi? Still, she said, forgive him. So, and she could understand what pain Ashwatthama's mother would go through. So I don't want her to go through the same pain as I am going through. So this was the heart of Draupadi. And she told, no, don't kill. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj, Nakula and Sahadev agreed with Draupadi. Did Bhima agree? No. Bhima jumped. I will kill him. Bhima said, I will kill him. Then what did Draupadi do? Draupadi intervened. She came in between Bhima and Ashwatthama. See the compassion of Draupadi. And then who has to make the call? No. Arjuna has to make the call to kill him or not. Ultimately, the weight was on Arjuna, what to do. And Arjuna decided not to kill him, but kill him. He was shaven off, right? And removed the jewel on the head. Half hair, that's right. Half hair removed and the jewel was cut off. Can you see? So in that way he was killed, but not killed. And just sent him. He is considered a Chiranjeevi, who lives for a very long time. So Ashwatthama is still there. Still on the planet. Ashwatthama is still on the planet. So this is the power of Ashwatthama, very powerful. Said in India, some places, Ashwatthama's presence is still there. So this is Ashwatthama. So he is so who? Arjuna made the right decision. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, Krishna was testing Arjuna whether he knows the duty properly or not. And this is simply to magnify the qualification of Arjuna. Prabhupada further writes, even Prahlad Maharaj was put into test to glorify his qualities. He remembered the Lord. He was tried to be killed in so many different ways, but he remembered the Lord and he was saved. It is simply to glorify Prahlad Maharaj. Prabhupada writes further that even gopis were put into test. What was the test for gopis? Krishna left Vrindavan. Why? In connection to glorification of gopis, how can we understand? What Krishna wanted to show? Yes. Krishna wanted to show the level, the standard of love exhibited by the gopis. He wanted to show that to the whole world. And then Krishna himself concludes, Na pareham. Even I cannot repay to you for what you have done. So in that way, he wanted to glorify his greatest devotees. So here we can see even everyone is put into test simply to glorify. And here in this pastime, in the Samudra Manthan, we know generally in Samudra Manthan, ultimately who got the benefit? Devatas. Everyone got some benefit. They saw the Lord. But ultimately it was for the demigods. And the Lord was there right from the beginning, who instructed the demigods to make a truce with the demons? Krishna. The Lord himself said, okay, you make a truce, then only you can do the Samudra Manthan, because you alone don't have the power to do that. So he got the company of the demons and they did it. And then who gave Vasuki? The Lord himself, and he ordered Garuda not to come there. But otherwise, the Garuda wants to accompany the Lord all the time, but he didn't want Garuda to come because then Vasuki will be in complete fear. And Garuda, if he become hungry, he will eat. Then Samudra Manthan finished there. There is no rope. So the Lord arranged that. Then he tricked the demons. How he tricked the demons first? Ajita tricked the demons. Who can tell? So far what we have read, Ajita, the Lord Ajita tricked the demons. No, that is later. So far what we have, Samudra Manthan starting only, woman has not yet. Now. No, first not like that. First he himself went and he held on to the head side of the Vasuki. So first Ajita held on to the head side of Vasuki, and all the demigods followed. Seeing that, immediately demon said, no, we want the head. Because we are highly educated, we know all the Vedic knowledge, we are superior by all means, so we need to be at the head, not at the, the tail, untouchable. So in that way the Lord tricked, because he knows the demons will fight always and they will want whatever demigods want. So let us go catch the head, and they will want the head and give the head to them and go back to the tail, which is better. So we can see, we read so far, demons, first of all, demons became tired. Not the demigods. First, demons became tired. So this is mercy of the Lord. So how the Lord is orchestrating this pastime. And then what happened? The Mandara mountain sank, isn't it? It's a milk ocean, very deep. And Mandara mountain, just by the strength of churning, it couldn't be floated and started sinking. Then Lord Ajita came as Kurmavatar, isn't it? Tortoise incarnation. Kachapa, another name of Kurma, Kachapa. He came as Kachapa and lifted the Mandara mountain, big mountain. And you can hear how many yojanas, thousands and thousands of miles. That was the size of Kurmavatar. And the Lord lifted the Mandara mountain. And the Lord had a nice pastime. As it is mentioned, he had some itch on his back. So as the demons and the demigods were churning, he was enjoying pleasure. Scratching, pleasure. Pleasure of scratching. We also sometimes get the pleasure of scratching, right? Have you experienced scratching, and if you touch nicely, you feel very good. But if you scratch further, what happens? There will be pain. There will be bruise. There can be blood. But for the Lord, it will not happen. The demons and the demigods, they were scratching for a very long time, but the Lord enjoyed all the way through. So this is transcendental body of Kurma. We can see Kurma Avatar is here in salagram form. He can see his shape. He is exactly like Kurma. His back is widest of all the salagram, widest like this. You can see the shape of Kurma, Kurma Dev. So that's how it is. So that is the Kurma Avatar. After that, what happened? Then he empowered demigods with the mode of goodness. He empowered demons with the mode of passion, and Vasuki with the mode of ignorance. Why? Because Vasuki has to be the rope, so he shouldn't feel much sensation. So ignorance means dead almost. So they can pull him so tightly and apply all the force. Still, he can still continue. But after everything, it is mentioned, Vasuki was almost dead. So much of power. Where all the energy is going, if you see, all the energy, all the force is going to Vasuki. And he was almost getting in a dying situation. And the Lord only revived him. And first, demons became tired. Then the demigods became tired. Then the Lord produced nice shower and breeze which carried the water particles to soothe the body of the demigods. Can you imagine? This is like Vrindavan. It's like Vrindavan. Vrindavan, when it is a hot summer, what happens is very hot. So to appease the Lord, to reduce the scorching heat, what happens? Yamuna releases its water. The sun actually evaporates water, and the breeze carries these water particles to Krishna. So there is natural air conditioning, aircon, natural aircon in Vrindavan. So even summer is like spring. Vasanta Kala, spring is like that. So this is the mercy, this is the arrangement. So the Lord gave the same blessing to demigods. And then finally still Amrita was coming? No. What did Lord? Before that, the Mandara mountain was floating by the strength of Kurma Avatar, but still it was not balanced. The Lord came on top as Ajita, and he did the balancing act. Both are pulling, so he balanced the Mandara mountain. He himself looked like a mountain. Mentioned, we read that. Even similar analogy is given in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in the 3rd canto also. Preksham kshipantam harito paladre sandhya bhrani verukmamurdhna ratnodathar aushadhi saumanasya vanasrajo venu bhujang kripankre in the third canto, Lord Brahma seeing the form of which Vishnu? Which Vishnu? Brahma first, he got the vision of which Vishnu? Garbhodakishaya Vishnu, his own father. So he explains a beautiful mountain, Preksham, Kshipantam Harito Baladre, a beautiful green mountain with all the herbs, all different kinds of jewels, gold summit. So he said, think about a mountain with this capacity, huge mountain with jewels and gold and greenery, all the herbs. But Preksham Kshipantam means such a beautiful scene was belittled by the beauty of Garbhodakishaya Vishnu. So he was much bigger than a mountain. So here Ajita is also bigger than Mandara mountain. And we read the beautiful description of Ajita, who is doing the balancing act. Meghashyama Kanakabarithi Karna Vidyoda Vidyu. Meghashyama, beautiful complexion, his beautiful yellow garments, Vanamala, etc., etc. So the Lord manifested. Think about the good fortune of both the demons and the demigods. All were able to witness the beautiful form of Ajita. And finally, Ajita himself started churning the milk ocean. And then only Amrita came. Did Amrita come first? No. What came? Poison, halahala. Halahala poison. And that halahala poison was so powerful that it can kill the entire universe. All the living entities. Halahala is so powerful. However, they approached Lord Shiva. He knows he will drink the poison, and then that poison will get stuck in his throat. Nothing will happen to Lord Shiva, but Lord Shiva will be known as Nilakantha. 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 So that is the glorious name of Lord Shiva, Nilakantha. And what is the mood of Lord Shiva? It will be explained. I will read that verse. Very beautiful verse. Very important verse. Tapyante logatapena sadva prayasho janaha paramaradhanam tadhi purashasya akhilatmanaha. What is the paramaradhana pumsa? What is the highest worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? We can consider what is the highest worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is worshipping the deity is the highest? Maybe. Cooking for the Lord is the highest worship? Maybe. Dressing the Lord is the highest worship? Maybe. Preaching, is it the highest? Maybe. So here it is mentioned, seeing the activity of Lord Shiva, it is mentioned, what is the Paramaradhana, greatest worship of the Supreme Lord? What is that? It is mentioned, Tapyante lokatapena sadhava prayasho janaha. What is that? It is said that the great personalities almost always accept voluntary suffering because of the suffering of people in general. Paradukha dukhi. Paradukha dukhi. This is considered the highest method of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present in everyone's heart. Clear? This is the highest worship. So, Lord Shiva drank the halahala poison. Why? Because he is the most compassionate devotee and he was performing the highest worship of Krishna. Vijay Prabhu, book distribution minister, he was the book distribution minister. Now it's Vaisheshika Prabhu. He used to quote this verse all the time. He said, okay, you go and help people out there. This is the highest worship. This is the Paramaradhana. Can you see? This is the highest worship of the Supreme Lord. So we need to understand this point very clearly. What is the highest worship? And that's where we can see great acharyas. They went through tests and tribulations in their lives to help others. Srila Prabhupada is a classic example. Why he had to go through all the heart attack? Krishna, why? On one level, why Krishna orchestrated all this? Why? To glorify Srila Prabhupada. But it was not easy. We shouldn't think that, okay, it was orchestrated by Krishna, so Prabhupada didn't go through any pain. Despite the pain, he served the Lord. This is the point. Despite the pain. Pain was there. He tolerated to serve the Lord. Intense pain. Excruciating. And the Juhu pastime, it was a great battle. Was it easy? No. Lot of stress and anxiety that Prabhupada had to go through. And the devotees, ultimately he turned out to be victorious. It's arranged by the Lord. So this is glorifying a devotee. And when we see any Acharya's life, there are a lot of trials and tribulations. Why is it so? To glorify, to magnify their glories. So this we need to understand. So we can see that the Lord is compassionate and He gives credit to His devotees. We can see from all these pastimes. On the other side, we can also learn the good qualities of the demigods. The Lord helps surrendered devotees, whether one is a pure devotee or a mixed devotee. Doesn't matter, the Lord helps. Demigods, obviously they have material desires. Still, Lord helps them. Here, Lord helped. And throughout in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, we can see that the Lord is helping the demigods, devatas, isn't it? Even in the Paribhasha Sutra of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. What is the Paribhasha Sutra of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam? Paribhasha Sutra means if there is any conclusion about bhakti or the position of the Lord, you can refer Paribhasha Sutra and everything has to support Paribhasha Sutra. What is the Paribhasha Sutra of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam? Ete chamsha kalapumsa krishnastu bhagavan soyam indrarir vyakulam lokam mridayanti yuge yuge. First two lines is actually the Paribhasha Sutra essence. All these incarnations, part of incarnation, they are all amsha and kala of Krishna. They are amsha, either part of Krishna. But next two lines, Indrarir Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Who incarnates? When Indrarir Vyakulam Lokam, when the demons are creating disturbance in this universe, the Lord personally appears as incarnation. So the Lord is connected to the devatas because they surrender. Even they have material desire, that's all right. The Lord reciprocates. So it is applicable to devotees. We may have material desires or we may not have material desires, but if we approach the Supreme Lord, He will help. So devotees, despite the material situation, despite the material desires, should approach the Lord, spiritual master, and devotees take guidance and move on in devotion service. So only one thing we need to do, continue. That's all. Continue devotion service, that's all. We can have material desires, that's all right, but continue. The Lord will protect. A classic example is devatas, they are administrators appointed by the Lord. And whatever difficulties, Lord personally appears as incarnation. Even to the degree, there are many reasons for appearance of Lord Sri Krishna. We just had Janmashtami. But one reason is the request of the demigods. We can read the request of the demigods. There are many other reasons, but definitely the Lord reciprocated to the prayers of the demigods, isn't it? That's why the first prayer offered by the demigods when Krishna was in the womb of Mother Devaki is about this quality of Krishna. Satyavratam satyaparam trisatyam satyasya satyam nihitam cha satye satyamsya satyam nrdasa netram satyatmakam tuam charanam prapannaha. The first prayer, Satyavrata. What is the meaning of Satyavrata? You fulfill your promises. Satyavrata. Whatever promise that you give, that will always remain true. Yes, He is Achyuta, He is infallible. So Satyavrata. So all the time he's Satya Vrata, Satya Param. You are the Param Satya. Trisatya. In this way he says Trisatya. What is the meaning of Trisatya? He is the supreme truth before creation, while maintenance is going on, even after annihilation. 3 phases of time, you are the absolute truth. This is Trisatya. Trisatya. Satyasya yonim. You are the yoni, you are the source of truth. Truth is truth because of you. Because he is the absolute truth. All the relative truths are dependent on the absolute truth. Satyasya yoni nihitam cha satye. Nihitam, you are entering into the satya. You are entering into the material world for creation. Through 3 modes of material nature and also as Purushavatars. Satyasya satyam, you are the truth of the truth. And Rita Satya Netram. Rita Satya Netram. He is the origin of whatever truth is pleasing. And Satyatmakam. Everything about the Lord is truth because he is Sachidananda Vigraha. Tvam Sharanam Prapannaha. We have taken shelter of you in this way. Even in the appearance of Lord Shri Krishna, demigods play their role. We know they came as different personalities as well. So this is the Supreme Lord. He protects his devotees. Even once, as Lord Rama says, Sakriteva prapannoyas tavasmiti yachate abhem sarvada tasmai dadamyetat vratam mama. Sakrit eva prapannaha. Sakrit means once. Sakrit eva prapannoyas tava asmiti yachate. One time anyone approaches the Lord and tells that I am yours. Sakrit means only once. Sakrit eva ya prapannoyas tavasmiti cha yachate. One time if one tells to the Lord sincerely, I am yours, what the Lord says? Abhayam sarvada tasmai dadam myetat vratam mama. This is my vrata. This is my promise. What is that? Abhayam sarvada. Always I will give you protection. Fearlessness. Dadami etat vratam mama. This is my promise. So Lord Ram told this when Vibhishan came, right? Isn't it? Vibhishan came. Flying in the sky from Lanka to Kishkinda, I think. To Kishkinda, yeah. The Lord was there. And then everyone told, don't give him shelter. But the Lord said, because he's the brother of enemy. Ravan was kidnapped, Mother Sita. But the Lord made a generic statement which is applicable in all time. He's a great devotee, Vibhishan. But apart from that, if anyone tells one time I am yours sincerely, only one time, I protect him all the way through, eternally. That is my promise. So can you see, this is Satyavrata. This is Satyavrata. This is Satyavrata. Quality of the Supreme Lord, he is so grateful to his devotees. Even any service rendered by the devotees, the Lord remembers all the time. Prabhupada explained to the degree that if there is a nail on the nail head, if someone hammers, even one time, one nail struck by a devotee or anyone, the Lord remembers that eternally. So amazing is it. So this is the quality of the Supreme Lord. So it is mentioned, Draupadi did serve the Lord and the Lord was so pleased. Whenever, hey Govinda, when Draupadi called, the Lord personally appeared. This is the mercy of the Lord. Even we know Akshaya Patra, the Lord personally appeared. So this is the reciprocation of the Lord. He is grateful. He is grateful. It is mentioned as Jambavan served Lord Ramachandra in previous yuga, not recently. In the couple of Divya yugas back, in Treta Yuga, Jambavan served Lord Ramachandra and he was so pleased. And now, Jambavan is still there. And when Krishna appeared, he, as a reciprocation for the service done maybe trillions of years back, the Lord accepted his daughter as his own wife, Jampavati. Can you imagine? The Lord, even practically we can see how the Lord remembered for how long? After next incarnation came. No problem. The Lord, okay, you served me, I will accept your daughter as my wife. Even we know the sages of Naimisharanya, sorry, not Naimisharanya, of Dandakaranya. Who are they? They desired. It's not only them. There is a list of devotees in previous yugas desired to associate with the Lord. And the Lord fulfilled all their desires. It is even mentioned herbs, herbs, Aushadhi. Aushadhi is connected to which incarnation of the Lord? Dhanvantari is the Lord. He is the original Ayurveda. Vaidya, original Vaidya Dhanvantari. He came with what is in his hand? A pot of nectar, and on the other hand, leech. Leech. You know what is a leech for? If the Ayurveda treatment, the final treatment, if you go to Ayurveda proper treatment, and the final one is, in the Panchakarma, the final one is you have to release the blood. You have to give the blood, and you have to, when the body generates the new blood, old blood has to be released. That's the final stage of treatment. Traditionally, how it has been done? Leech was put on the body, and they will start drinking the blood. Now you can go for blood donation. Red Cross. But that's why Dhanvantari had the leech and the Amrita, both. And when Dhanvantari came, all the Aushadhis, they started thinking, we want to associate with the Lord in a more personal manner, and they performed austerity for thousands of years. And the Lord reciprocated, okay, you come and you join me in Vrindavan. Even Lord Ramachandra, he was performing his pastimes. Many people, many ladies, they saw him and they also desired. Not just the sages of Dandakaranya, they indeed desired, but others also desired. They also got a chance to associate with Krishna in Vrindavan as gopis. Can you imagine? Not only that, even after Mother Sita left, the Lord rejected as a pastime Mother Sita. And then as he was performing sacrifice, he had to have golden Sita. He made Sita out of gold, because the Yajamana must have wife, otherwise cannot perform the sacrifice. So he had Mother Sita in the form of golden statues, deity of Mother Sita. So each time he would make new deity of Sita with gold. So all the Sitas, they were kept, all the deities of Sitas, after the sacrifice, they are kept in a room. So after many years, there were hundreds and thousands of Mother Sitas made of gold, deity, you can imagine, as the same size as gold, Mother Sita, big gold deities. One day, when Lord Ram went there, these Sitas in the gold form, deity form, they started speaking to Lord Ramachandra. He said, we also want to marry you. We also want to marry you. Okay, you are accepted as a wife and you did sacrifice, you got all the benefit. But marry us now. You didn't marry us. You married Sita. We are deities, but marry us. What did Lord Ramachandra say? Ekapatni Vrata. I already did marry one time Sita. Now I cannot do again and again. So they also want Ramachandra. They also approached the Lord in Vrindavan. Can you imagine? Who can do this? So when you think about the appearance of Lord Krishna enacting his pastime, it is not a normal thing. Don't think that it just happened. Okay, prayer of demigod is one thing. But devotees are waiting for so many lifetimes from so many different yugas and maybe in different manvantras. All were given a chance to associate with the Lord. So this is the mercy of the Lord. The Lord is reciprocating in this fashion, beyond our imagination of time and space. This is the mercy of the Lord. So this is the compassion of the Lord. And so Bhishmadev remembers the compassion of the Lord before he departed from this world. On one level, he says, when the Magadhendra, when all this Jarasandha captured, isn't it? All the kings, and they prayed to the Lord. Lord released all of them. Not only that, for Bhishma himself, Lord personally appeared to give his darshan. There are many reasons being told why Bhishma they waited for Uttarayana. Great yogi, so when the northern course of the sun, one must leave. We can read in Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter. Was that the reason? No. Ultimately, it was only for the darshan of the Lord. That was the only reason. Because he's being a great devotee. And the Lord is grateful and compassionate to Bhishma. And he appeared. So we can see that everywhere the Lord is helping his devotees. And at the same time, he wants to give the credit to his devotees. So this is the compassionate nature of the Supreme Lord. So with this, I stop and see is there any questions or comments. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Govinda Prabhu. Thank you very much. Excellent class.
Hare Krishna.
You have covered most of the things. I can remember a few more examples. One is Dhruv Maharaj.
Yes.
He went to the forest and Lord gave him Narad Muni to preach, and he could see Lord in 6 months' time, which is extraordinary. He says, I was thinking of broken glasses, and I got the diamond. Next example is as a Matsya avatar. He came to save the Vedas and came as a fish. So there are so many examples. You have mostly covered.
Unlimited examples will be there because it's the eternal pastime of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question here?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you
Hare
for the
Krishna.
nice class.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, you had mentioned how Krishna ultimately gives the credit to his devotees, even though he is able to do much of everything. But sometimes seeing this, people get more faith in the devotees than the actual Lord. Like I once went to the Hanuman temple and we were preaching there, and there they asked us, do you have any Hanuman books? We said, no, this is about Lord Krishna, because like Krishna, Hanuman is also a devotee of Krishna. So they said, no, but Hanuman only crossed the river, he only found Mother Sita, he only built the bridge. Even though we understand that this was all orchestrated by Lord Ram, how do we make those people understand?
Yeah, the same point. Lord Ram wanted to give credit to Hanuman. So you can give the example. Sometime, even it's a quality of a good leader, even materially speaking. They want to see that whoever is working under them, they accomplish things and they congratulate. The leader may be able to do it, but he wants to see that one who is following is accomplishing. It is to his credit as well in that way. So, say for example, father, let the children do things. Father can do. Why let the children do? So that they can learn, they can get the credit, they can experience, etc. Similarly, the Lord is giving credit to his devotees. So it's a very good example. So same point you can explain. You can give more examples. Like battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna example you can give. Everyone knows Arjuna example. So give 2-3 examples, then they will be shut. If you just make the point and if you give few examples, they will not speak much, right? Because they don't know much. They are just speaking out of sentiments, isn't it? Out of sentiments.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes. 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 Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you. Today is Ekadashi, so happy Ekadashi for everyone. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.